Today we will learn another important topic, that is graphs. A graph is an ADT, that is abstract data type. What is abstract data type? In case of abstract data type, it has some operations and some definite data structure. So graph has some operations and also some data structure. So graph is an ADT. Real world information is sometimes a graph. Graphs are used to solve many real life problems. A graph G consists of a finite non-empty set V of vertices and a set E of edges. So, finite non-empty means what? In case of mathematics, a finite set is a set that has a finite number of elements. Informally, a finite set is a set which one could in principle count and finish counting, like a finite set with 5 elements. And what is non-empty set? A non-empty set is a set containing one or more elements. That is, any set other than the empty set is therefore a non-empty set. So, a graph G consists of a finite non-empty set V of vertices and set E of edges. So, we can represent it like in this way: G equals to within bracket V comma E, where V is a set of vertices, that is A, B, C, D, and E is the set of edges, that is A to B, B to C, C to D, A to D, in this way. Graphs are used to solve many real life problems. Graphs are used to represent networks. The networks may include paths in a city or telephone network or circuit network. Graphs are also used to represent social networks like LinkedIn, Facebook. For example, in Facebook, each person is represented with a vertex or node. Each node is a structure and contains information like person ID, person name, gender, etc. Here is some example of real life data feed into graph structure, like set of cities connected via railroad. See, city 1 and 3. City 1 and 3 not directly connected by railroad. We have to go via 2 or via 5. How we can represent? We represent it mathematically or diagrammatically by graph. Now we have to store it through computer program. So it is not a linear information. Say if I want to store information like marks of 10 students, then we use an array because it is a linear information. But this type of information, it is not linear. So you have to use nonlinear data structure, that is graph. Take another example. Set of people where some are friends. There are 6%. Each node is a structure and contains information like person ID, name, gender, etc. So, see, friend of person 1 are P2, P3 and P4. Friend of person 2 are P6, P4 and P5. Friend of person 3 is P1. Friend of person 4 are P5, P1 and P2. Friend of person 5 are P2, P4 and P6. And friend of person 6 are P2 and P5. So in this way you can represent. Take another example. Connection among computers, that is routers. Routers are connected with each other. Internet messages are traveled from one router to another through this connection. We can store this information through graph. Some important definition we have to learn from graphs. First, directed graph. It is another name of directed graph is digraph. A graph is said to be directed if every edge has some specific direction. Means there is a direction from A to B. or from B to C, C to D, but not from D to C. So every edge has some specific direction, then that graph is called directed graph or digraph. Next, multigraph. A graph is said to be multigraph if there exists a loop or multiple edges in a graph. So what is loop and what is multiple edges? Take one example. Multiple edges. Distinct edges E and E dust are called multiple edges if they connect the same endpoints. See, the starting endpoints are same for these two edges and the ending endpoints are same for these two edges. So these two edges are the multiple edges. And what is loop? And edge is called a loop if it has identical endpoints. That is, the starting endpoint and ending endpoint is same. Then that is loop. And a graph containing either multiple edges or loop or both is called multigraph. So this is an example of multigraph. So what is simple graph? Just the opposite, a graph without loops and parallel edges. Then that graph is called simple graph. Next, incidence. Incident means when a vertex V is an invertex of some edge E, vertex V and E are said to be incident of each other. That is, when a vertex V, here in this case say vertex name is B, is an end vertex of some edge E. Vertex B is an end vertex of some edge E. This edge, it is the end vertex of some edge E. Then we can say V and E are incident of each other. So we can write B is an incident on E because B is the end vertex of the edge E. Next, adjacent. Two vertices are said to be adjacent if they are end vertices of the same edge. So we can say A and B, A is adjacent to B and B is adjacent to A because they are end vertices of the same edge end vertices. So A is adjacent to B and B is also adjacent to A. Now degree. The number of edges incident on a vertex B is called the degree of vertex B. So tell me, what is the degree of this node? There are 4 edges. So what is the degree? Think. Normally it looks like the degree is 4 because 4 edges, but it is loop. For loops, the edges is to be counted twice. So the degree of node A is 5 in degree. The degree of a vertex Vi is the number of edges with Vi as their end vertex. Out degree of a vertex Vi is the number of edges whose start vertex is Vi. So what is the out degree of A? It is 1, 2, 3 because it is the start vertex. And for B, this node, what is the in degree and out degree? In degree is 1 and out degree is 1 and 2. For C, in degree is 2, out degree is 1. And for D, out degree is 0, in degree is 3. Next, isolated node. If degree is 0, then that node is called isolated node. If any node has degree 0, then that node is called isolated node. Complete graph. A simple graph in which there exists an edge between every pair of vertices is called a complete graph. It is also known as a universal graph or clique. So a graph will be complete if there is an edge between any two nodes. So this is an example of a complete graph. Now I want to calculate total number of edges in a complete graph. See, these are the vertices of our graph. So there should be one connection from A to B, A to C and A to D to make it complete. And for B node, there should be one connection from B to A, B to C and B to D. B to A is already connected, so two edges are required for B to C and B to D. And for C node, B to C and A to C are already connected. So only one edge is required from C to D. And for D node, all connections are done. So if there are 4 numbers of node, then how many number of edges are required? For A, it is 3. For B, it is 2. For C, it is 1. And for D, it is 0. 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0. So if there are n number of nodes, then how many number of edges are required? That is n minus 1 plus n minus 2 plus n minus 3 in this way till 1. So the result is n into n minus 1 by 2. Now we will learn one theorem. The maximum number of edges in any simple undirected graph with n vertices is nc2. See, for one edge there are 2 vertices. So maximum number of edges in any simple undirected graph with n vertices. So if there are n vertices, then for n vertices it is nc2 because two number of nodes are required for creating one edge. So total number of edge will be nc2, that is n into n minus 1 by 2. Graphs are of two types, directed graph and undirected graph. So what is directed graph? A directed graph or digraph is a graph in which all the edges have specific direction. See, this is an example of directed graph. We can go from A to B but not from B to A. And this is an example of undirected graph. We can go from A to B, also from B to A. Connected graph. A graph is said to be connected if there is a path between any two of its nodes. So, is this graph is connected? No, it is not connected because there is no path between V0 to V2. We can't go from V0 to V2. So, the graph is not connected. So, how can make it connected? By adding one edge between V0 to V5. Now, we can go from any node to any other node. So, it is now the connected graph. Connected graphs are of two types, strongly connected and weakly connected. A directed graph is strongly connected if for every pair of vertices Vi and Vj, there is a directed path from Vi to Vj and from Vj to Vi. So, there is a path and it is directed from Vi to Vj and also from Vj to Vi, then that is strongly connected. But in case of weakly connected, a directed graph is weakly connected if there is a directed path either from Vi to Vj or from Vj to Vi. Then it is weakly connected. So what is path? A path is a collection of vertex V1 to Vn where V1, V2, V2, V3, Vn minus 1, Vn are the edges of the graph. Take this example. If I want to go from V0 to V3, what is the path? What are the vertices in between V0 to V3? First we go from V0 to V1, then V1 to V2, then V2 to V3. So there are 4 vertices. And how many number of edges are there? From V0 to V1, one edge, V1 to V2, another one, and V2 to V3, another one. So 3 edges are required and there are 4 number of vertices. So what is the length of the path? The length of the path is the number of edges in the path. So here because there are 4 number of vertices, then 3 number of edges are required. See, we can write in this way, path from V0 to V3, V0 to V3. That is P equals to V0, V1, V2, V3. And how many number of edges are there? So edges are 3. How many number of nodes are required? Nodes are 4. So we can write nodes equals to number of edges plus 1. Number of edges means length. So plus 1. So nodes equals to length plus 1. Closed path. The path is said to be closed if V0 equals to Vn. Means what? See, if I write a path V0, then V1, then V2, then V3, then V4, then again V0, because V0 equals to Vn is the last node. So then this path is closed path. Simple path. A simple path is a path in which all non-terminal nodes cannot be repeated. That is, the path is said to be simple if all the nodes are distinct, with the exception that V0 may equals to Vn. See the example. If path is P, then we can write in this way: V0, then V1, V2, then V3, then V4, then again V0. This is simple path. We can say that this is one simple path. See here V0 V0 repetition, that is V0 equals to Vn. But in case of this example, see, if path is V0, then V1, then V4, then again V1, then V3, again V4, then V0. This is not a simple path. Why so? Because repetition of nodes are there, not a simple path. Repetitions of node V1, V1, V4, V4. There are some repetitions, so this is not a simple path. Cycle. A cycle is a simple path so that the terminal node coincide with the starting node. Say, if I go from V0 to V1, V1 to V3, V3 to V2 and V2 to again V0, then it forms cycle. Also, V0 to V1, V1 to V2, V2 to V0. So the terminal node coincides with the starting node. So this is cycle. Null graph. A graph without any edge is called null graph. That is, we can say that every vertex in a null graph is an isolated vertex, that is without any edge. Subgraph. A graph G dash equals to V dash T dash is a subgraph of G V E if V dash is the subset of V and E dash is the subset of E. Thus, for G dash to be a subgraph of G means what? All the vertices and edges of G dash, vertices and edges of G dash should be in G. Then we can say that it is the subgraph of this graph. Labeled graph. A graph is to be labeled if its edges are assigned data. Means, see, this is an example of labeled graph and each edge is assigned by some data. Weighted graph. A weighted graph is a graph in which edges are assigned some non-negative numerical value or weight. See, each edge is assigned by some non-negative numerical value. These values are called weight. And this type of graph is known as network. Tree. A tree is a connected graph which is acyclic, that is having no cycle. There is no cycle, no loop, that is there is no repetitions. So, in particular, that there is a unique simple path P between two nodes U and V in T. In between two nodes, there is only one path. If T is finite tree with m nodes, then T will have m minus 1 edges. See, there are 9 nodes, so 8 number of edges are there. So, if the nodes numbers are m, then edges are m minus 1. Now, we have to prove one theorem. There is one and only one path between any two vertices in a tree T. By contradiction, we can prove that, say, We can take another path between B and D. So there is one path B to D. I take another path from B to D. So by contradiction, we have to prove that. So see here, if we take another path, it forms cycle. But we already learned that tree is acyclic, that is having no cycle. So we can prove that there is one and only one path between any two vertices in a tree T. A subgraph of a graph G, this graph G, that is VE, which is a tree containing all the vertices V, is called the spanning tree of G. So that subgraph contained all the vertices of this graph G. So this may be one spanning tree. See, all the vertices should be there and it is connected. Note, there will not be a unique spanning tree of graph G. See, I can draw another spanning tree. Minimal spanning tree, an acyclic subset T that connects all of the vertices of T where the sum of weights of all edges in T is minimum. Means what? It should be acyclic. It connects all the vertices of the graph G. And here the sum of weights means if I assign some weight in these edges, then sum of weights of all edges in T is minimum. Then it is called minimal spanning tree. Why it is called tree? Because it is acyclic and connects all of the vertices. So it must be a tree. And remember, on the minimal spanning tree of G, it is not necessarily be unique. There may be more than one minimal spanning tree for a particular graph G. So these are your homework. Pause this video and try to answer in the comment section what is the correct option. Pause this video, try to answer in the comment section what is the correct option. I am waiting for your reply. For getting more and more updates, please like, share and subscribe my channel. That's all for today. Thank you.